Okay, there we go. So we are going to continue to talk about travel, holidays, vacations, etc. And today we are cracking down the British accent. Last class, we started looking at 5 recordings or 5 people, 5 different speakers. All of them were British people or are British people. So they speak in a British accent. So today, what I want you to do is I want you to go ahead. If you open this new section, which is called Video for Wednesday's class, October the 5th, you're going to see all of the directions about what I want you to do or for what I want you to do by clicking on this video right here on the icon. And then you have the recording right here if you want to listen to it again, or if you think you need to listen to it again. There it is. I mean, of course, you're going to have to listen to it again in order to complete the activities in this video. And then if you want to take a look at the transcription for all speakers, you're going to have to click here where it says click here to see transcripts. And it's going to open, right here. Now, I made a chart with the expressions and the vocabulary that we talked about or that we went over last class. To go on a journey, there it is. So to go on a journey, to go off, mate, to manage, to do something, to get through, small hours, dull, and to dump. So I got all of these words and expressions from the transcriptions, okay, or from the transcription. So you're going to have to listen to it again.
Unit 3. Listening Part 3. Exercise 2. 1.
And then I want you to go to the transcription and identify the sentences. I mean, the vocabulary in this chart. I want you to identify it in the transcription. And you can, this is optional, you can write the sentences from, or you can get the sentences in which the new vocabulary was used. You can write these sentences and add them to the chart on the right column where it says definition and sample sentence. So I want you to write, you can write either a sentence that contains the vocabulary from the transcription, or you can write entirely new sentences, or you can also get the definition from an online dictionary. You can use the Cambridge Online Dictionary. So we have the transcription, and I chose to go on. Right here it says I went on blah blah blah. Right, there it is. It wasn't working. So there it is. So I went on and then go off, right? And then you have, whoopsie. What else do we have? Okay, so just to remind you that mum, you see, so this right here. Mum. All right, so mum is the British spelling for the word mom. We talked about it previously. Okay. So let's move on. And then we have mates. Okay. So we talked about it as well. So mate is the British word for buddies. It's a very informal word to refer to friends. I went with a couple of my mates, or I went with a couple of my buddies. And then I chose the small hours, which is the early hours of the morning, or of morning after midnight. So 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 4 a.m. Okay. We managed to get through all our cash. So to manage to do something is succeeding in doing something that was hard. So something that was an activity or an action that was very hard and you were still able to do it successfully. And then get through, which means to survive or to accomplish something. Something that was especially hard. Pretty much like to manage to do something, but in this case, it means more like they were able to party all night. Like they were able to go to, here it says that they were to the clubs, or they went to clubs. They partied all night. So to me, it kind of sounds like they didn't have a lot of money, or they didn't have a lot of cash. At least it doesn't he didn't specify if it was cash, or or if they had their credit or debit cards with them. So he doesn't specify. But I'm just guessing that he means that they didn't have a lot of cash. See, so money, like cash, and they were still able to party all night, to the small hours. Okay. So we have go off again, and then sort of. You already know that sort of is a very British expression in this case, because in American English you would say something like kind of, right? But then keep in mind that this is also going to sound very differently from the way an American person would say it. So instead of saying sort of, you'll hear sort of. Okay, let's move on. Dull. I also added it to the chart. So dull means boring. It's just a more formal way of saying boring. Dumped. To dump means to leave, to abandon. Okay, so right here, fed up. If you want to add that one to the chart, you can do so as well. So to be fed up means to be sick of doing something, to be tired of doing something. Estar harto, aburrido. So in this case, he's saying that the girl that he met was as fed up as him, or as he was. So they both abandoned, they left their parents, and they went off for the day together. Okay. What else? I think that would be pretty much it. If there are more vocabulary words or expressions that you'd like to add to the chart, feel free to do that, okay? You can add more words and expressions to this chart. So what I want you to do is I want you to complete it by adding the definition from an online dictionary and a sample sentence. So once again, you can add the sample sentence from the transcriptions, or you can write an entirely new sample sentence, okay? Also, this is optional. If you want to, you can also record the sample sentences that you write or that you add to the chart, and I want you to send them on WhatsApp. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me on